specific manner, but I'll tell you in a very simple story that I simply can connect to. So the topic told me why technology is something that is very important for social good and ensuring social welfare. But I think I truly realized that back in 2018, when someone I know who was in the army did not know that his mother has passed away. And that only was possible, and he got to know that after 6 months through a phone call. Now, as much as emotions are connected to these kind of news, and as much as people sacrifice their losses and do for more, the implementation and the advance of technology is something that is imperative and inescapable and inadvertent in our lives. While it is questionably a double-edged sword, and we often get to see some of the goods and the bads at the same time. But think of the societies that began at the beginning of time. Technology has been something that is the inception of humankind and humanity. When we didn't know anything, we tried to know something from everything. And that is the very, very foundation of technology. Stones, metals, irons, and eventually that led to fire. When we discovered fire, that transformed human civilization and societies. And we became and came into being the way that we are. So technology is not something that we just press up and use in terms of our smartphones. It's an existent, innate nature of humanity to be always exploring who we are and how we think about things. And that is terminologically what I believe to be technology. And the question is, does it really lead to good? Well, I won't give you a definitive answer in terms of saying that it's always good. But what I'll tell you is that if you look at the current world, what would happen if you remove it? And I think that is the biggest way to answer some of the questions when in terms of understanding the importance of something. We cannot live without it. And if you remove it, probably we cannot imagine the world that we would have now. AI, artificial intelligence, radio communications, the world depends on it. Now the question is, to what extent do we really curb our moral compass to ensure that the good maximizes the bad? And I think that is fundamentally the question we truly should be trying to achieve. It's about us. It's not about the invention or the object itself. It's about how we use it. And I think the best thing to think about these things, or the way you should be, or we should be, is to ensure that our moral compass and the sense of morality ensures that we objectively use what we have in our hand to the best way possible, whether it be for the good of us or for the latter part of society. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mohammad Hafid Hussain. First and foremost, I would like to thank for enabling me the opportunity to speak in front of you all. It's a privilege to discuss on a topic that affects all of us in terms of global communication. The topic that I'm going to discuss and shed light on, that is the role of sports in terms of ensuring international peace. So we all more or less know about what is sports, right? So I'm going to provide you 3 insights that contribute to ensuring global peace. First, have you ever seen India and Pakistan cricket match? I hope all of you have seen, but these two are totally conflicting nations. They have a history of rivalry. They are totally adversaries in the global market, but still, when they play, they try to avoid those clashes and keep those contradictions aside. This is the beauty of the sports, because sports make you forget any kind of jealousy, any kind of rivalry. Sports can unite and put even the warring nations together. You can even see Afghanistan playing in the same field with the warring countries, with the countries those with whom they have problems. So this is the beauty of sports. Secondly, sports teaches us to be disciplined, to be tolerant towards the different opinions, even if that do not match with our own, even if that clashes with our own beliefs. Sports always teaches us to be tolerant, and I believe personally find it that tolerance towards different opinion is the key catalyst of ensuring any kind of peace, no matter it's regional or no matter it's global. So in a broader sense, sports teaches and inspires those individuals to be disciplined, to be morally correct, because to ace and to excel at any sport, you have to be morally committed to it. And this practice of moral, this incorporation of moral practice grooms a person to the fullest, and when a person is groomed and nourished properly, he is more likely to be ethical, which also contributes towards ensuring the global peace. Last but not least, international sports communities play a vital role in ensuring global peace. How and why? Let me explain. You must have heard about ICC and FIFA and other international global sports communities which try the level best to ensure peace between their member countries. Let me give you an example in which ICC has played a vital role in mitigating the clash of India and Pakistan. Just before their war, the initiated war, they put an end to it, the ICC. So you can see the sports plays a vital role. Thank you everyone, once again.
Hello everyone, I am Tanmay Azad. So today's topic is the importance of women's empowerment in attaining peace. So what do we actually mean by peace? It actually means inclusion, in my opinion. If we can live in harmony with one another by respecting one another and accepting each other's differences, only then we can be able to live in peace. Half of the population are men and half of the population are women. We cannot just suppress the half of the population and expect that the other half will dominate, and it can never cause anything but violence. We need inclusion, we need equality. Now let's talk about the importance and of women's education and how we can include their participation even more. So first of all, we need to focus on women's education. That is because if our mothers are educated, then eventually so will the next generation be. If our mothers can teach us about history or what not to do, and if they can teach us what mistakes to avoid that our ancestors have made, we can eventually avoid violence and conflicts. So women's education is necessary for the development of this world and to foster peace and equality. The perspective of this world differs from person to person. The world is viewed from a man in one way and viewed from a woman or different backgrounds in another way. So if we want inclusion, if we want collaboration from everyone, we need to see the world from everyone's viewpoint, which is exactly why we need inclusions. How do we achieve this inclusion? So first of all, what I would like to mention is that we need cross-cultural activities straight from the beginning, and even when we are dealing with international programs, we need inclusion. We need the participation of both male and women, because today's youths, we youths, are the future leaders of tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, I am Nashita Islam Nuha, and I'm a little nervous today because it's been a while since I've been on stage, but I got a very interesting topic, and that is about how peace is related to music, or music is related to peace building. I think it goes both ways. And that is because music is something that is a part of our life, in everyone's life. Everybody is connected to music in one way or the other. Now, there are different kinds of music. There is instrumental, there is rock, there is jazz. There are so many kinds of music. I personally am someone who likes to listen calmer music. And that is because I am a very anxious, anxiety-ridden person, and it's easier for me to calm down when I am listening to music that is slow-paced, especially during studying. And not only that, I am also a painter, so whilst I'm painting, I have to consistently do something else, like simultaneously on the same hand, and that is when I will be listening to piano music. Now, what I'm trying to say is the music that I listen, it somehow brings me peace. And the reason why there are so many award functions out in the world relating to music, such as Grammys and many other award functions that happens every year, it is because to bring all different kinds of music in the world together in one place, from all different kinds of countries, different ethnicities. And I think it is a beautiful way to show culture, a beautiful way to build peace, and also bring everyone in the same room and bring a connection in there. And I think that is a beautiful thing to understand and believe in, and it is a beautiful way to also reciprocate peace. Thank you very much. That is all from me for now.
The topic is economic inequality and the path to peaceful coexistence. Now, let me ask you a question first. Have you ever been starving for a long while? Have you ever felt that you need something but you can't get it due to financial resourcelessness? Have you ever felt that? I'm not asking for an answer, but just think about it. As long as there is economic inequality in a society, as long as there is this class verification, the class differences, and as long as there are people who are sitting at the bottom of the society and looking, if I had that, there will never be peace. He wants that, I have that. He will come knocking at my door. I don't want to give it to him. And what does it lead to? It leads to disharmony. It leads to disruption. It leads to disturbance. And what is peace other than freedom from disturbance? As long as there is disturbance of any sort in our peaceful lives, we're not getting peace. So if we want to achieve peace, we have to, it's a very socialist thing to say, don't judge me, but we need this equality in income, this equality. And maybe it might be based on equity, it might be based on merit, but we need to have this self-consciousness that yes, he also deserves that what I have. I also need to show compassion to him. And we need to coexist. Because without coexisting, humans are really the most violent group of people. And also the group of people, also the group of creatures who thinks about peace the most. Now, how do we relate all this? Because we have a brain and we're going to use it. And going to find a path to economic equality and coexistence. May the Almighty bless us. May we be harmonious. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello everyone. My name is Ahmed Mustafa. I'm from Department of Biochemistry and Biotechnology, and today I stand before you to speak a very interesting topic about the educations that fostering unity. How educations united us. It's simple, like from the revolutions, like past few years, how educations united us. If we see some recent history about, if I give an example for instance, Malala Yousafzai, who tried to, Malala Yousafzai, who is a Pakistani activist trying to educate girls who was attacked by Taliban, but he didn't choose any violence or conflict. Rather than, despite of threat of violence, he chose good communications over educations, got in UAID and gave a speech on how education's building up, or we might get from our any kind of institutions, like from our schools, from our universities, that how we united. It seems like we may have different aspects, we may have different beliefs, but we are united in a same boat. So that's a thing that build us. That's the thing that united us. Like the education is not about learning or doing some mathematics or solving any problem of science. That's not like this. It's also seems like how you manage to tolerate others, to give respect other opinions. If you are not willingly, if you are not, if you are not accept someone's opinion, how you will deal with that. So these things, make us realize that how we united, how we can communicate. So this is the power of education. The power of education is in building your capability. So that's how education is united us. Thank you for all your time.
The topic I'm here to discuss is the role of social media in maintaining peace on an international scale. And coming from a background of environmental sciences, there is a multifaceted topic. However, one of the things that we learn is that social equity is a very important factor for environmental sustainability, because you can't just preach for more trees, better environment, while disregarding the welfare of human beings. And before I discuss the benefits that social media can have, I must state the problems that it has caused. Fast fashion. It sets up trends every now and then. Every day there's a new trend, and that's encouraging consumerism on a level that we've not seen before. However, I see that as an opportunity, because I personally have an interest in environmental psychology and behavioral economics, because I believe that the next big solution will come by changing people at an individual level. We must all become conscious of our consumerism. We must all take a stance for what is right. So whilst doing my research, I realized that social media presents a boatload of data for us to use and analyze, and that will give us the key to unlocking how we want to behave in the future as a community, as a global community, not just people from Bangladesh. And I really believe that social media right now, it has the power to connect us, and this is a resource that is intangible, right? You can't really put a value on it, you can't put a number on it, but it has connected me with the person, say, halfway across the world, or maybe at the opposite end of Earth. And we can now share ideas that can help the universe as a whole. And this can also be extended onto peace and peace treaties and conflict resolution. So I really believe that to see social media only as a problem, it would be a very backward take on what it really represents as a resource. We must now treat it like a tool for peace and equity and sustainability. I hope you've all enjoyed my speech. I'll see you guys soon again.
Why was the UN born? Anyone? When was it born?
After World War II.
World War II, exactly. What was World War II? A conflict. A conflict of the biggest kind. The greatest conflict human civilization has ever seen. World War II. It led to the death of millions. Genocide, war, which went on for 6 years. And thus, the United Nations were born. Ever since then, can we really say the number of wars lessened? Can we really say that? There is still war going on. There was war before UN came, and there is war after UN has come. So what is the actual point of the United Nations? To resolve these conflicts, right? To resolve conflicts. There is WHO for health organization, there's food, and there's other organizations. But what's more important is that I may be a Bangladeshi, he might be a Pakistani, they might be Indian. We might have our cultural biases, we might have our religious biases, but at the end of the day, when that day comes, after 1 year, after 365 days, and that day comes, me alongside with 165 other nations will sit in this entire podium to discuss one conflict at a time. For what? So that we can all strive towards a better world. So that we can all strive that a World War III might not happen. Is it ideal? Well, that is up to debate. But peace can never be achieved without conflict resolution. And that is what we must all strive for. That is what you should all strive for. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. So the topic I got for today is education, which is a medium to close the global gap. Growing up, I've always heard from my mother, from my father, or from my sisters that if you want to live in a world where there's peace or there's no gap, no disparity, then education is extremely important. So the first thing that comes up on my mind if I think of closing the global gap, it's education. When I'm with my friends or growing up when I had friends, there were so many of my peers who thought that, okay, I'm not able to achieve certain things in life because I'm not able to do it. But when they were enrolled in the same institution, when they were achieving the education they deserved, they started to realize that, okay, I am actually able to be just like my friend who is as capable as think I was not. But one thing that I've seen, that if everyone is educated in our society, then the gap, which I think causes a lot of disputes, a lot of problems in the world, a lot of inequalities, education closes the gap entirely. If I have to think about problems that we go through in the world right now, which is poverty, people starve, people live in the streets, people don't have home. But I think basic education actually helps people to get out of it, get out of poverty, get them a better life, get them the standard as they deserve. And now our government is also working for people to get the education they always desired, they deserved. And now I think eventually people are getting there, and people are also thinking of themselves as that, yes, I am capable of doing what I thought I was not capable of, and people are progressing, the society is progressing, and the inequalities that happened over the decades is actually coming to an end. Thank you, everyone.